I guess I'm a bit like prehistoric. I think it's just bringing yourself back to the basic materials and seeing what you can do with them. Teamwork makes the dream work. We've had lots of helpers from around the community giving a hand. It hasn't cost us any money, it's all recycled materials from around the orchard, and then it's just time. The oven is a design of the Cornish Cob Oven, which I have in an old country pottery book that I've really liked the look of.
Yeah.
The Cornish used to cook their pasties in one of these ovens.
We bring them in.
It seems like a difficult thing to build, but it's reasonably easy. People used to do it all the time. Each layer of rocks you do around the outside, you add soil on the inside and stamp it and hit it down, and then that sort of compacts the central bit. Then you build up a next layer, compact it, and add a few bigger boulders so they go into the wall. So it's solid. It's bound by mud and rocks. Which direction, I reckon? Leach pottery provided the clay. When we make the pots, if we've messed up a load of pots, the clay that we've messed up, we usually reuse it. But in this extent, we've got 5 dustbins of clay, so that was their donation. By having lots of people stamping on it, it pushes the clay through the straw, and then folding it into itself, it's sort of putting all the fibres stronger together. It's nice to actually see everyone sort of not worried about the mud, and parents jumping into the clay as well and really getting stuck in. I got into pottery because that recycling clay the old way was taking off your shoes and just stamping the clay and mixing the clay together, and then eventually you knead it into something you can make a pot with. We then levelled the top, and then we put breeze blocks as a sort of insulation so the temperature doesn't just get sucked out through the floor. And then on top of the breeze blocks we had sand about 1 centimetre sort of thick. And then we had the heater bricks, old electric heater bricks, which weigh about 8 kilos each, and they're full of metals. When the oven's at temperature, it will just hold the temperature, and you could have a stew in it, stewing all night. We then made a big mound of sand on the heater bricks, so it would leave a cavity when we put the clay over. And then built a nice little arch. Over the sand we put newspaper, so when we stick the clay on it, the sand doesn't drop into the pizzas, it's sort of protected by the paper. We did one layer which had not as much straw in it, still had quite a lot, and then the next layer over it just full of straw. So the straw will add little small cavities which will then make it quite a lot more insulated. So it's maybe about 2-4 inches thick in places. oven needs to dry a bit. We'll maybe give it a week for it to dry. The main issue is like frost. If it's wet and it freezes, it makes lots of cracking. But the good thing about Cornwall, you don't get frost. It's just the mizzle and that. We just have to make sure it's covered up. If it's kept dry, it will probably only take like 30 minutes to an hour to heat up. And you can cook a pizza every 20 seconds. I just like from scratch mud and all the materials from locally you can source and build an oven rather than getting an oven people pay for and you don't actually know how it works. I just don't like electric ovens. Man make fire.